you guys have seen the context of this, but basically CNN and MSNBC came out with this thing where Democrats are spending $20 million in an effort to understand why young men don't want to vote for them, as obviously the young men in this country have not voted for them for a long time. And so we're going to watch this clip and then we're going to react to it because this is not the MSNBC article. The MSNBC story was a little bit funnier. Basically, it was making fun of the fact that they spent all this money in luxury hotels to talk about and have a meeting about how to influence more men like me. So let's get into this.
$20 million effort obtained by the Times aims to reverse the erosion of Democratic support among young men, especially online. It is codenamed SAM, short for Speaking with American Men, a strategic plan.
That's SWAM, by the way, but
and promises investments to study the syntax.
For $20 million, you'd think you could get an acronym correct, right? Like you'd think that would be step one, but you know, here we are. It's our tax dollars. Fuck them.
Language and content that gains attention and the virility in these spaces. It recommends buying advertisements in video games, among other things. So you're the man here. I will not mansplain you. All I will say is, duh.
Yeah, I know. Look, they should.
So CNN's trying to act cool. Well, yeah, like yeah, you should be doing this. You should be doing this. You guys
have probably recognized this a couple of cycles before when this trend was growing very apparent. This was a huge problem for them in the past election cycle, and they need to figure it out because right now the Democratic message is really all over the place.
Prospectus for one new.
So, guys, it's not all over the place. The message has been very simple. They put out shit all the time. They pump it into New York Times. They pump it into CNN. They pump it into MSNBC. If you work out, if you take care of yourself, if you like chicks, if you have testosterone in your system, you are toxic. They say this openly. They say it all the time. This is what they say. The problem is most men are normal. Most men like pussy. Weird concept. They don't like dicks in their mouths. Not a majority. Matter of fact, vast minority. And no matter how much that ticks up, right? No matter how hard you work to get that percentage from 5, 6, 7 to 8, 9, 10, it's not going to matter. Because at the end of the day, it's still 90% of dudes are dudes. And you know what they like to do? They like to tell jokes with their buddies. They like to make sexual, racist, homophobic, transphobic, whatever other religious comment. Like, that's what guys do. If you don't believe me, go into any football locker room in any country or in any state on planet Earth and see what the conversation is. See how they talk to each other. See how they talk to their friends. Oh, Sam, how was your day? How was your date with Betty? No, that's not what happens. That's not how they speak. That's not how they act. That is not how men act. And these fuckers have been demonizing that for the last 8 years. So your only real chance is not putting up fucking fags like Tim Walz. I'm sorry. Like, that's what he is. Tim Walz trying to act like he's a man is like me trying to put on a wig and act like a fucking chick. Okay? We see right through it. And it's embarrassing. This is not how shit works. Real men do not vote for this shit because you've demonized us for trying to be normal for the last 8 years. Guys are now at the point where they don't even want to talk to chicks. Like, there was a study that came out, a poll that came out for like college age males. They're deathly afraid to talk to women because they're afraid they're going to get in trouble. So they literally don't know how to speak and act. Because they're so afraid of being labeled. By who? I've been canceled, quote unquote. Magically, I'm still here. I've said shit online that people don't like. I've had my DMs hacked. I've had all of that. Guess what? Still here. Why? Because most normal people go, oh, yeah, he's a dude. He was talking to his friends. That's shit dudes say to their friends. Pull up any dude's group message. Gonna be the same. Now, is there always going to be a 10% of really loud Karens in every crowd? 100% there is. I promise you, there always is. But here's the thing that these guys don't understand is the men, the real ones, the ones that they're trying to get, are going to be the people who are in charge and influential over the next 10 to 20 years. They are, because real men will always rise to the top. Femboys, friend zoned. Don't even talk to me about the low T switchers who want to go play sports. You're never going to matter. You're never going to become anything, because the second life gets hard, you're going to fuck off and quit like you always do. That's why you do the things you do. You're never going to win this argument. You're never going to win this battle. You're never going to win this war, because you will never have even close to a percentage of the population that gives a shit when you say stuff like this, and then the next 9 messages you put out are going to be against masculine shit. Now, you can say that it's wrong. You can say that we shouldn't speak that. You can say whatever the fuck you want. But we've been villainized for 8 years. And after you get called names long enough, you stop caring. You just go, yeah, fuck you. You're a loser. I don't care. I'll go win. You go be a bitch. And that's what we say. And that's what we go do. And magically, we end up winning. And then we go, oh, wait a minute. I was right. And then we get loud and we create YouTube channels. And magically, here we are. And we're just the tip of the spear. We'll take the arrows because we don't care. The arrows mean nothing. Because the people who try to cancel you don't buy your shit anyway. I remember the month I was canceled. The next month, we made more money than we'd ever made in our life. The 6 months after, where I neutered myself, went down the hill. As soon as I said fuck off and came back, went back up. I've seen this play out the hard way. This lesson alone has cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars. Probably more. And what I should have done is realized what was going on, but I was too stupid. Right? Because I didn't have the data that came in that said, wait a minute, they're saying this, but the data says this. Well, I've seen the data. I've lived through the data. I've been the data. Let me tell you what the data says. These idiots don't have a prayer of ever getting our vote. The only chance they have is that the other side fucks up so bad that we're forced back over here. Because what they've done is the opposite. They've forced every normal, left-leaning, common sense Democrat to go right. Because as soon as you like pussy, you like right. As soon as you lift weights and have muscles, you're a far-right extremist. So wait a minute. So if I like making money, and I like pussy, and I like women, and I like testosterone, and I like lifting weights, I'm far right. Okay. That's a majority of men. A monstrous majority of men. So if you don't want those things in your party, you have no chance, no matter how much money you spend in luxury hotels having meetings about us, you have no possibility of ever getting us. Because you've already said all the shit that we think is cool, you think is bad. So you can put this in video games, but let me explain something to you. When GTA 6 comes out and there's pride parades, we're going to be having fun. And we're going to laugh with our buddies. And we're going to put clips of it on the internet. God, I can't wait for that game to come out. Side note. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments.